some of which is on a basis of tests, some on the basis of the fact the doctor thought it was likely but not definite. But it also gives an indication of what's called excess mortality, the difference between the normal death rate, sadly, at this time of year, and what we got at the moment. And that's been changing over time. And there are some additional deaths on top of the ones that you would expect for this time of year. So in the last week for which we have data from ONS, 3,475 people were diagnosed as having COVID, some of them from in-hospital, some of them from out of hospital. But the excess mortality was, over, in terms of the period as a whole for that week, was, depending whether you compare it to the week before or at the same week last year, somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 people. Now there's a gap between those. Now that could be just random variation, but one of the things that we've said from the beginning is that people die for many reasons in epidemics. They include the direct cause of death, but they can also include people who died, for example, if they stayed at home because they were worried that going into hospital was dangerous for them, and actually they have a heart attack or a stroke or something important like that. And the reason I'm making this point, other than just to clarify the data, is it is really critical for people to realise if they're having a medical emergency, we really appreciate people taking pressure off the NHS for the less urgent things, but if they're having a medical emergency, a heart attack, a stroke, a really bad flare-up of asthma, things like that which could be life-threatening, one of the things that the British public have done by taking the pressure off the NHS by staying at home, and my remarkable colleagues in the NHS have done by building up NHS capacity, as we've always maintained the ability to handle emergencies, whether COVID or not. And I really want to encourage people that if they have other medical emergencies, the NHS is open for business. And we really must encourage people who are having these life-threatening or life-changing things to go to hospital, go contact NHS 111 where that's necessary, because it would be very sad to have a situation where people's activities and the NHS had managed to preserve the ability to do emergencies and people were not coming forward.
Tom, thanks very much. Sam Coates from Sky News.
Dominic Raab, Sky Analysis has found that